Hey, what's going on? It's Dave, and it's a few days before Ironman Arizona 2022, and I'm doing a video that I wish I would have known about when I was a newbie triathlon or a first-time Ironman or someone who's preparing for a long-distance, half-iron, or full-distance Ironman when it comes to the bike. What do you need? What do you aspire to get? And what do I use? I've been doing this since my first triathlon was actually 1998. My first Ironman was 2008, and this coming Sunday will be my sixth Ironman. I've done, I think, 25 half Ironman. So I've been on the bike a lot of times. I've upgraded throughout the years. In fact, my first bike was a road bike with aero bars on top of the handle. So it's been a long, and I actually had cages instead of clip-on pedals, some look pedals. One of my first few triathlons. It was very strange to see the progression. But so for the first time triathletes who are looking to do some long distance, here's what I'm using for my Ironman Arizona race. This will be number 6. I did Ironman Arizona back in 2013. So I think hopefully they'll be educational to see where I've come and some of the options that you can upgrade to eventually if you want to make the investment into a more expensive bike, because this is where you make the most time up. So this is the Trek Speed Concept, and I got this, I believe, in 2014 as a member of the Timex multi-sport team. It was the team bike, and so we all had to have the Trek bike, and then we got a discount to get it. The pros got it for free, but the age groupers on the team had to pay, I think it was half price at the time. Anyhow, I love this bike. I've had it ever since, and I'll probably stick with it. If I do get a new bike, it'll probably be another Trek because it just fits right for me. Although I did have a Cervelo that was really nice as well right before this bike. So what makes this bike good for me and what I like about it is the aggressive aero position. So I like to lean down pretty well, and with this setup here, I've got the DI2 shifting, so you can shift on the buttons here. So these buttons also are the same buttons as these, meaning these control the same part of the shifting down below here. Left-hand side of the shifters works on this part, the main crank, and then the cassette is what works on the right side. So it depends on how you're positioned when you're riding. So if you're in the aero, you can easily just shift left and right, up and down. And if you're up here, you can do the same thing this way, but it just allows you to easily shift left and right. And I got the wraps on here for extra grip. So this is nice. I also have a Garmin. This is the Edge 520. So this reads my power meter. I've got a Cork power meter on my bike, which is this side here. And this reads the power, so watts, as well as the head unit up there, speed, cadence. It also Bluetooth syncs to my Garmin heart rate monitor, so that's all there. This is still on from beforehand. This is my bike cadence and speed monitor from my Timex unit that I had that I used to use, but no longer use it because the Garmin supersedes it. And the cool thing about this, it also uploads to Strava, for example. I'm using C75 Dura-Ace race wheels. This is a decent depth in wheels. I'm a little nervous about wind because I've had some issues with this shifting. Let's say, for example, I get a wind gust and I'm in the aero position. I have a little bit of balance issues for me. I don't know why. Still something to get used to, but this will help with speed and aerodynamics when you have some deeper dish like these versus just your training wheels. Some people will go a full disc in the back, but that's a little more expensive, and I'm not that serious. Now, the tires I'm using are tubulars as opposed to clinchers, and that means these are all one piece that glue into the inside rim of the wheel set. So I can't really take these off. Well, I could, but it'd take too long. Take these off during the race. But if I were to get a flat, I've got this spray tire fill and repair spray that I can just attach on my bike and then just fill it up. It'll fill the hole and also put air into it. It's temporary, but that's my only solution as opposed to taking off, let's say it's an inner tube on top of the tire. So that's what I'm going with here. It's supposed to be, there's pros and cons to it, but I'm going with this tubular tire versus a clincher. So if I do get a flat, less likely to get a flat, and if I did get one, I can spray it and fill it with air and seal the hole at the same time. But this course, I did have a flat on it, ironically, in 2013. And here's another little tip here. If you are gonna go with clinchers, a tube that you keep in the back compartment, for example, and you have a deep dish like this, make sure your tubes have a long stem. I had short stems, and when I popped it in there, the stem wasn't long enough and I couldn't top off the air, so I had to wait for support. So if you do have a deep dish, think about the stem of your spare tube. That's a little lesson learned from the road, and it cost me about 15 minutes. Frustrating, but a lesson learned. I'm gonna have 2 bottle cages here. One's gonna be for nutrition. I'm gonna put goo into a bottle of water, and I'll put enough goo in there for all my calories for the entire 5 hours and 45-minute bike ride for me. And I usually go 300 calories max is what I can handle in one. So I'll put 3 times 5, 15. I got a lot of goos that are squirted into a bottle. It sounds gross, but that'll be my nutrition bottle, and then I'll have water from aid stations that I'll just replace over and over again. But one bottle is absolutely nutrition, and I don't really eat much else on that. I might have some honey stingers in the back of my kit. And this is as clean as my bike's gonna be. I do have this compartment back here, and the compartment has in it, well, just right now, temporarily, some lubricant. I probably only need these because I don't have a clincher for that. And I don't need this because I'm gonna get a spray can for flat. So anyways, that's what I would put in here normally, is tires and flat kit repair things. And that sits back there in a nice little aero position so it doesn't really block the wind. And I don't have anything up here. A lot of people will put, and I have in the past, their goos or their nutrition along here, or they have a little bento box. I don't do it. I used to, but don't really need to anymore. And this is the charging unit for the Di2 that I am charging every single day, even though I don't need to charge it every single day. I think that's about it for my bike setup. I got the Look pedals down here, and these are the shoes I'm wearing. Upgraded these from last year. So TT or TRS Shimano. And there's the new Look. That's as new as I've got them. My Samarpo performance sunglasses I'll go with. And this is, I had this design for 2013 Ironman Arizona. And that's when I had K-Swiss as my running shoes. Now I've got Hoka. I was on the Timex team, and I had them design that especially for me. This is a pretty sweet helmet that I just use for longer races. Shorter races, I'll just wear a smaller one. Anyhow, it'll look good with my kit. Got the M dot there in the M, my name. Yeah, so that's cool. Let's see what else. I changed my seat, and I usually sit on this part of the seat mostly. And if I wanted a little bit more comfortable, I might push it forward to sit more flat on it. But I'm kind of aggressive where I lean here with that's where I sit on. And I have a nice forward lean on my bike to be as aero as possible. So that is my bike for Ironman Arizona 2022. Pretty decent setup, I think. I mean, it works for me. I'll clean up the chain a little bit and make sure the wheels are topped off to about 100 PSI approximately. Sometimes it's just based on feel. Yeah, make sure that everything's charged up. So today is Thursday. I'm gonna check my bike in, mandatory check-in on Saturday, pick up the race packet tomorrow, Friday, and then race it up on Sunday. Any questions for me, leave them in the comment section below. I'll reply before race day, and then afterwards, if any questions about bike setup or a question you want to use for the Endurance Hour podcast, by all means, leave it here and we can feature it on the podcast. Until next time, thanks for watching. Have a great week of racing, training, and recovery. See you next time. Adios.